Y'all want to save the wrestling for the channel.
Not the wrestling.
Channel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on Wrestling Montage Media. I'm with my homeboy, my dog,
Yeah,
Real. What's happening?
what it is.
Yes, sir. We are. We were just getting into the conversation of Zelina Vega winning the U.S. Championship on Smackdown, and then her husband returning the very next segment. And I was just asking, what your thoughts on that?
Um, it I don't have a problem with it. At least they viewed him against the Miz and not just have him come out and destroy or basically knock off a tag team. I always had a problem with that when you have somebody debuting and they destroy a tag team. Like you had Rusev come out, and I guess a good way to get him. Oh, Indy Hartwell's there. My bad.
No,
Uh,
you good.
I guess a good way to have him debuting, if you're going to have him on the heel side, would be to attack Alpha Academy because they are over with the fans and what have you.
Yep.
Uh, and I thought Maxine Dupree did an actually good job on the mic.
Yeah, she did. She's good.
Yeah, she did a really good job on the mic. I had to, because I'll watch wrestling, I'll watch SmackDown and Raw, and so I'm kind of in and out depending on what segment it is and how interested I am in the show that week.
Right.
So I was playing baseball. So as I knew that they were coming out, and then I heard somebody talking. I'm like, and I looked. I'm like, wait, is that Maxine? Oh, that was. It's like okay, better on the mic than she is in the ring. But hey, brother, look,
Yeah. She was
I,
very when she hit her whatever bullet point she hit, she hit him pretty well. Like even
yeah,
though she don't get the most opportunities to be to talk, but when she does, I mean she knock it out the park. Gotta give her credit.
yeah. Some of these other girls, it's the same thing. Like with Chelsea, if they give you one segment, they give you 7 minutes, they give you 5 minutes. You got to maximize that shit.
Yeah.
You just got to do the best that you can do in whatever segment, and somebody's gonna start to pay attention. But like, hey, why is she not getting more time? Or like start giving her more segments and what have you. That's all it is. So,
Hmm.
but what have you thought about Chelsea's run as the inaugural champion?
It was okay. They like I say ever since they became a 3 hour show, they have been displaying the titles more and more.
Mhm.
As far as stories, they can do better with that. But I think what they did better with Chelsea than they did Lyra, since they both not well. No, Lyra's still the champion, right?
Mhm.
Well, I would say with Chelsea, hers was uh more, of course, character. She had matches too. I kind of lost my thought on that one, but
I know why. So, how
because
you
I guess
feeling?
it wasn't really much of anything to really scoff at.
Yeah, they. I don't think they did a fantastic job of establishing a new title for the women's division. Like you said, she's character driven,
Yep.
but she's also good in the ring. So why didn't you have her in more matches where it displayed how good she actually is?
But I would say she did have she did defend it. It wasn't every week, but I would say she defended it more than she didn't. What you say?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And she was on. She would be on all three brands too. So then there's that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so, but I just think they didn't put like I didn't care about her matches. It's like, oh, she having a match with Sol Ruka down in NXT. Okay,
I know.
she's not losing the match. Okay. Or she's
Yeah.
having a match with Zelina Vega because you haven't done enough to make me care about her having a match with Zelina Vega because every time you see her roll out there, she's eating a pin. So it's like you're not making me be invested in it. So hopefully with them finally putting a strap on Zelina, kind of like they did with Chelsea. So now Chelsea will be chasing to get it back.
And what is it with? I think like with Chelsea, she'll go out there, she'll cut a promo, she got her secret Hervis and people like that. But with Zelina, really all she do is like do a little interview in the beginning of the match, and uh, she can talk too. Zelina,
Mhm.
she can talk. We know this with her days with Andrade,
Yeah.
and I think she not too long ago she had a little program with somebody where she was just flaming them. But I forget who it was. She was facing some people. Was it was like the LWO? Uh, they
Oh, when they
were
was into it with
Elgato
Donna the
and then the girl.
Phantasmo. Yeah.
Yeah, she was getting her
With
licks in. I'm
Elektra
like, all
Lopez
right.
before she got released.
Yeah, but she was, with Ray and all that. But yeah, all they really do with her is just a little interview in the beginning, and she come out and do her thing with. Well, she got music that sound like the SmackDown. It sounded just the same as the SmackDown theme now, which is garbage. I mean, I
Yeah.
and I'll just say this: it might be controversial. I don't really give a damn. Hip hop, there is too much these days. I think driven.
Hmm.
I I I prefer music back in the day. I wish they was doing this more back in the day. But they got Megan Thee Stallion as their main SmackDown theme. It don't hit the same like when you would hear, you know, the rock.
Yeah,
It
when it
needs,
was
yeah,
it was a little bit more, I wanted to say like rock driven, give or take. It was like more had like a rock feel to it.
yeah.
Or
It sets the tone so much
it made
better.
your adrenaline pump a little bit more. So
Yeah, it sets the tone so much better for the shows. Like the old Raw theme, and then the pyro, boom, boom, boom. It's just
yeah.
they need to go back to that. I mean, they still does do the pyro in the beginning, but just hearing do 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 do, and it made you style. Just like,
Yeah, it's like that doesn't get me hyped to
nah,
watch SmackDown for 3 hours. So
uh. But I like the little sports presentation they do, and like how they have them walking. I mean, they've always kind of done that, but now it's like everybody wearing suits, kind of like sports now, where they just walking and they just, doing a
yeah,
little pre-show thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like I'm glad that they didn't do the fucking draft this year because that still has always been the dumbest shit that I've ever seen in my life. Now it's just like, oh well, they whatever they say, like when Fraxium debuted on Friday on the main roster. Is I forgot what he said. So how Nick Aldis was able to land them and what have you. I'm like, oh, thank God they didn't do the draft because normally they do it like the week before. Was it the week before the NFL draft or the week after? It's usually before the NFL draft. So, but they didn't do it this year.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
right about that. They sure didn't.
Yeah, thank you. Don't need it. Just if you're gonna move people around, just move people around because I think here lately has there do away with the it's well, you're a Raw superstar, you're a SmackDown superstar. No, no, because you talk about having fresh lineups. Well, how do you have fresh lineups when it's the same 10 to 15 people you see every fucking week on both shows, and you have a handful that go between all three shows? Like, just let it. I've always thought that one set of tag champions. You can keep your secondary champions.
Yep.
Uh, and having two world champions is still the absolute dumbest shit. It is. You did that because you had to create competition within yourself, but you can do away with that now because there's actual other programming to watch. You have partnerships now with TNA and with AAA. So well, we won't really count AAA in there, but you got the partnership with TNA. So we can only imagine where that's going to lead to in the next couple of years. So,
Yeah.
but you don't have a need to actually have two champions now. But if you're going to have a champion, have that champion go between the two or three shows because you got one set of women's tag titles, right? They go to each one of the shows. So why you can't do that with everybody else?
Hmm.
Like I'm just saying, it's just always been fucking stupid. Like people can that vocal minority on the internet with them. AEW, it's still another brand. It's still another place for these guys to go and work. It's competition, regardless of how you look at it.
Hmm.
Like we again beating a dead horse. We know WWE is the top of the food chain. That's not going to change no time soon.
Right.
I mean, I don't know because after WrestleMania, um,
Go ahead and say it.
Jesus Christ.
Are we going to WrestleMania? We really haven't uh covered WrestleMania really at all. So it was last weekend, of course.
Yeah.
What do you?
Night two was still a bit. Night one was solid, but night two was much better. Um,
Yeah.
to and The Rock he didn't do himself no favors with this storyline. He didn't. He really didn't. It almost sounded like he was kind of doubling down on the decision and what have you. He's like, oh, well, we can always come back to it. No, nobody wants you to come back to it. It should have never fucking happened to begin with if you're not going to be fully invested in it. But you had a rapper untrained who ain't got his receipt yet determine the outcome of your world title match.
Now you don't consider the crossroads a receipt?
No,
That's
no,
what I'm thinking too.
no. He should have bitch slapped him open hand. Just all of this should have been left. He should have hit him with one of these joints.
Yeah. Grab his
That was
whole
not.
hand.
I'm sorry. That was not a receipt because with that open shot that he took on Cody, had it actually went way worse than what it actually was, it could have changed everything. It could have changed everything. I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
can see if it was somebody that was trained and a freak accident happened and he gave Cody a shot and whatever's whatever, because we know freak accidents happen.
Right.
So, but you got somebody untrained in there giving out a live round. Come on, bro. You gotta get your teeth rattled for that one.
I don't know why they didn't set it up for him to really. I mean, he should have just did it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, some things in wrestling, yeah, you are you told what to do or not to do, but I mean, I've heard several stories about Vince not wanting somebody to do something, they do it, and he's like, "Well, good shit, pal." Yeah, and it is all good. So sometimes you got to go into business for yourself.
Yeah,
He should have
yeah.
did it.
He should win the business for himself. Be like, hey, it's better to apologize and what did it say? It's better to beg for forgiveness and ask for permission. So
Right, right.
you finna get
Especially in
that.
that
You finna get that
situation,
receipt.
for real.
But you basically had an outsider determine the outcome of a match.
Yep.
No, no, and we kind of already knew that. We all kind of figured. I think we all picked. Well, I know I picked Cena to win because it was like
Yeah, we did.
if
Yeah.
if Cody wins, then what? You just wait for the next challenger. There's no real upside to him winning.
Yeah, and
Like he's not chasing anymore. Like, well, how do you continue his story? Because the whole thing for me was, how do you follow up? What do you do to follow up the bloodline story for the last 4 years? It's like y'all wrote Cody's story, but you have to follow the bloodline story. That was the best thing that y'all had going for the last 4 years. That also drove talents away from the company. So
hmm
like then there's that part. But anyway, um, yeah, night one was pretty good. Was okay. Night two, especially with the Bianca, Io, and um Rhea match, that was a damn good match.
yeah, man. I seen highlights of it. It's weird because I watched WrestleMania, but I had to actually go back and watch Drew and Damien. That was pretty cool. But I need to watch it from beginning to end, entrances and everything, the whole whatever 45 minutes it was. But for some reason, I was looking at the YouTube and I thought because the pay-per-view started at 6, but for some reason it didn't transition. You know how from it go from YouTube to Peacock, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, but the stream kept going like, okay, so it ain't starting yet. It must start at 7 tonight.
Mhm.
But I ended up going into it. It was in the middle of Drew and Damien. I'm like, dang, I missed first match.
Yeah.
So so I got to go back and watch theirs from front to back. From what I seen, it was freaking amazing.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
Yeah.
They had a really good match. So
And
it's like,
EO,
all right,
bro, she don't have bad matches. Like I give Bianca and real credit, but with EO in there, it's gonna be a banger, dude. Just like on Raw, I watched her and Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh,
Vaquer.
yeah, yeah,
That match was great.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I figured it was gonna be somebody was gonna run in on that match because you're not gonna have Stephanie. She's not taking a pin uh on the main show, and you're not gonna have Io take a pin after what just happened at WrestleMania. So it was like, yep, somebody's gonna interfere in that match, and that's exactly what happened. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Two interferences, as a matter of fact,
right.
back to
So it's
back.
like, wait, who's the wait? It was Roxanne and who?
Roxanne and was it that girl Julia?
Oh, Julia. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Julia.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And then Rhea came in to make the save. So
Yeah.
somehow I feel like it's gonna be a six-woman tag match at Backlash.
Hmm.
That
It
that
could be. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's gonna be. They're gonna have a bunch of six. They're gonna have a bunch of tag matches and WrestleMania rematches.
Yeah, of course, because that's usually
Yeah.
what backlash is.
Yeah.
Because for some godforsaken reason, I feel like they're gonna have a four-way for Jacob Fatu. So I'm like, we don't need another pay-per-view with multi-person matches. You just had that.
Yeah.
You just had that. You don't need to go back down that road again already. So, but I feel like this was. Oh, did you see the double turn though on
The-
SmackDown? The double
Uh,
turn with Drew and Priest.
I did
That
not. What
that was a double turn. So Priest was Drew was in a match with
with LA
LA
Knight,
Knight
right?
that to oh shit have a number one contenders match um to have a match with Fatu at Backlash.
Right.
Priest interfered in the match and what have you. So I'm like, and it felt like the crowd was kind of cheering him, but they was also sorry about that
Mm.
booing him at the same time. But they were actually cheering Drew. They were on Drew's side there a little bit. Like when he
Yep.
first came out, they were on his side a little bit. I'm like, huh. And kind of what Priest did, like you interfered in the match after you just ate an L. So that kind of makes you look like a fucking heel. Because baby faces don't attack the heels if once they lose when they lose the match. That's a heel thing.
I have to see. I have to look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Hmm.
listen to the crowd reaction to that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It felt like a double turn there.
Well, yeah.
And
It could look that way, but if they have to play it by ear. If that's what the crowd is saying, and if it makes sense on TV, they need to just go with that. You know.
because cameraman doing his job today. Hello. Um um I forgot what the hell I was about to say. Oh yeah, because Drew's playing up the crowd again with the countdown to the Claymore. Like you're doing a babyface move.
He started. Well, he did he stop that? I don't think he ever
Like,
stopped.
he stopped that for a while. So he started doing it again. I was like, okay, you're doing a babyface thing now.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like he also like he was they presented him as a heel, but has he really been a heel? Besides the fact that every time he was cutting a promo, he was hitting them with facts though.
Yeah.
He was stating the truths. So I mean, you mad at him for stating facts that the bloodline fucking screwed him at Clash at the Castle, and he ain't got a fresh shake since. Now, when he won the title at WrestleMania last year, he did that to himself. I'm sorry. You did that to yourself. So
Definitely. But I was gonna say, man, when you was just talking about Cody and Cena,
Mhm.
Bully had said something that was really profound. He was like, "Well, I don't want to see Cody going back to chase Cena for the title right now." I was just like, you know what? That's what a babyface champion would do. Who just lose the title. They're like, "Oh, I want my championship back. I want a rematch tonight." But I don't want to see Cody for a little while. I don't want to see him until the summer.
I think we all said that like it when
Hmm.
he loses and if he loses, he go away for like 3 months.
Yeah, that's a good amount of time right there. Yep.
Yeah, good. And which would bring us to SummerSlam. And I mean, it's 2 nights.
This
Um,
year's too nice, or was it next year?
it's 2 nights this year.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, There's a there's a rumor going around that Mania's going. We already know the Mania's 2 nights now. SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights. They're talking about fucking doing
The Rumble
Survivor
is
Series and
hmm
the Rumble. Eventually, will be 2 nights. It's like,
the
do
big
you need
four.
those to be 2 nights? Like, have the Rumble? I could almost see that a little bit, but it's like you'll have the same talents. The men's will be one night, the women's will be another night. But most of the talents that you will have that'll be in the Rumble, you kind of have to put them in singles matches also, or give or take. But it's like you'll have to elevate more people for it to be 2 nights, and for people to care for it to be 2 nights.
Right, because the thing of it is not even they're not even really brand specific anymore. It's like they started, they don't stick to it, and it would have to be like how back in the day, remember it was Raw pay-per-views and then SmackDown pay-per-views. So if it was
Mhm.
like 2 nights, it would be Raw night, SmackDown night, something like that. It just wouldn't mesh well. I don't think. Not
Yeah,
for not to have it 4 times a year. It should be for
yeah,
only things like Mania.
yeah.
Maybe how I wouldn't mind if a SummerSlam either, since SummerSlam is the WrestleMania of the summer. But that's it.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, and you remember when they had the network,
Yep,
how every month it was the Raw pay per view, then it was the SmackDown pay per view. It was the Raw pay per view, then it was the SmackDown pay per view. But you see how quickly they got away from that shit too.
they did.
Yeah, they got away from that real quick.
Hmm.
Like that's not gonna work. That's not that it wasn't working. That's all it was. So, but yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But I was when I heard that, I'm like, I hope they don't. You don't need that many your bigger pay per views to all be 2 nights apiece. Because, dude, we understand you just milking it now,
Yeah,
and it might start to turn people away with that shit. Because that's a lot of money to fucking be shelling out.
it is, especially for pay-per-views, and this one in particular that's coming here. We just talked about it. Them tickets are astronomical, man. Like for what it used to be. Like I was looking in the seats that was like in the corner, but like right. I think you could look right at the floor,
Hmm.
or like a few rows behind. Those seats were about $300. I'm like, okay, that's decent, but it said obstructed view.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
Like
most decent price for that place for a pay per view. I get it, but then anywhere else in that map is like 500. I'm like, y'all crazy.
no, it's like, and this is what they'll hang their hats on, talking about that. Oh, well, we made this much. Like, well, yeah, it's because you raised the ticket prices. Like, it wasn't sold out. You just raised the ticket prices.
That's all it was.
Like, I
Making the
like
most money, most financially successful. Yeah, because you jacking up, doubling every damn thing.
exactly. Because I know that they announced what the crowd attendance was for Mania. I was like, it still wasn't sold. I don't still think it was sold out though.
I don't know. It wasn't. It still
Not
wasn't.
it still wasn't sold out on either nights. Like, but yeah,
Nope.
they had a high grossing gate because you're charging $700 for nosebleed seats. So yeah, it's gonna look like it was a financial success, but still and yet. That's why I was like, next year when they're in New Orleans, like we can go to New Orleans, but I'll probably end up doing like the fan fest and going to like other stuff and then going back to my hotel and watching Mania. Like, why am I paying all this money just to be? Look, we blue collar around here. We ain't got no snacks like that to just be throwing money on 2 nights for expensive ass seats when you won't be able to hear and or you can't see shit and you can barely hear it. So
Uh-huh.
and you're
Yep.
just gonna be looking at the jumbotron or the LED board the whole damn time. Fucking
Right.
do that. I can do that in the comfort of my hotel with some food
Yep.
in the bathroom 4 steps away from my bed. So
On my phone. I can watch it on my phone right here.
right. So it's like, eh, it's a money grab. It's all a money grab. But I
Yeah.
mean, TKO, they're in the business that they in. So Endeavor, they're in the business of making money. So it is what it is.
It's not personal. It's
It's
business.
business, brother.
Best for business, brother.
It's all for business, brother. It's the same thing like when we were talking about when fans was complaining about them going to Netflix. So you hang your hat on them being the top dog, but when they do top dog shit, now you mad at them and you bitch and complain about them. Well, you don't get to be the top dog if you don't make major moves and make money moves. So
Hmm.
like that's how they ended up on top because they make money moves. They did money shit, and Netflix put more money in their pockets. So they ain't gonna give a shit
Yeah.
about what the ratings look like until it becomes the problem. Like they still doing solid in the ratings. So
Yeah, we talking about $1 billion company, man. A couple billion. Like, man.
and they got to be doing well if they just bought a whole nother promotion. So I'm just
Right.
saying, you just bought a whole nother promotion. They're doing damn good.
But
So
and this was Triple H's plan all along. He wanted to turn Triple A into NXT Mexico.
oh, for real?
That's what I heard.
Oh,
We know what the internet does, but that sounds about right because he wanted to, before Vince changed NXT into 2.0,
hmm,
that was his plan, was to take NXT and make, NXT China, NXT, how he wanted to rebrand UK again. He wanted to do NXT Australia, NXT Brazil, all of that. Really
yeah.
take over the territories.
I did hear something about that. That's what he planned on doing. Like basically expansions of NXT in the different markets and what have you. Because I always wondered what happened. I knew when they shut down NXT UK that they were supposed to be rebranded and relaunching it, but then nothing ever came about that. So Vince 86 said,
Yeah, yeah, because that was Triple H's plan. But I mean, ain't no more Vince, so Triple H he gonna continue that whole thing,
yeah,
which I like. I like the idea of it. Because they're making money hand over fist, brother. So
basically, because I know that they were talking. I think it was late last year. They were talking about basically setting up something like basically like a territory system where the talents that are down in NXT can go work in front of other crowds and not just the same handful of people every week because you're going to get the same reactions if you're in the same place every week performing in front of the same people. But when
yeah,
you
but
go
then
in
that
somewhere
was what
else,
was kind of cool about the old NXT though. They be in a Full Sail, and you see that same old tall dude with the glasses. but
yeah, yeah,
those was
you got.
passionate fans though.
Oh yeah, they showed up every week. That's where
Every
Lil
week.
Izzy got her started. That's how Lil Izzy got on. And now she overheard NXT ID. I need to check up and see how that went. So she was the Bailey fan who
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The young girl,
yeah
Izzy, right?
yeah Izzy she was at the WWE ID. I think she's gonna end up getting signed by the company anyway, just because of the whole thing just came full circle for her. So
Yeah. In her story, her and Bailey gonna have a storyline right off the bat.
gotta be,
Yeah,
gotta be, because she's basically kind of modeled her gimmick after Bailey. So,
yeah.
so I was like, well, good for her because I followed her from that point up until now. Like she used to call in to Bust It Open, and I'm like, how old are you? How old are you? Were you like
Yeah.
10? What
And
is
that's
going
the
on here?
and that's the cool thing about like these times, I would say within the last, 15, I'll say 20 years that we've had, technology. I've been growing this whole time since, cell phones and stuff came out and video.
Mhm.
So it's like they can really look back at when they was like, 15 and young like that when they had these phones like this and when
Yeah,
so
because they got a caller now that calls in. His name is Drake. He calls in, and my dude is 13, I think. And he calls in and he kind of talks like this sometimes. He's like, "Hi, Dave. Hi, Bully." And then he goes into his spiel and what have you. I'm like, for this little dude to be 13, I'm like, he makes more sense calling in than some of these adults that come in, they call in. And I don't be understanding what the hell they be talking about. Most of the time, they just call in and reiterate what they've already just heard everybody say to begin with. So it's like, dude, just no original thought, huh?
So do you listen to Sirius radio?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's how you hear the full episodes. I only listen to the YouTube clips.
Yeah, I mean, look, the YouTube clips are just the highlights from the show. So, like when LaGreca goes on his rants, which are always fucking hilarious. So,
I love Dave LaGreca, man.
my dude goes off.
Hmm.
Like he don't give a shit. He was like, you don't. We know it's a work. You ain't got to tell us it's a goddamn work. My man was hot about that one though. He was like,
Yeah.
my man on vacation. He's like, no, fuck that. I got to call into the show real quick.
Have you ever called in?
I've called in once. About well, it was like 4 years ago. Um, it was like right after AEW got started, and
Yeah.
I called in. I forgot how it started, and then it kind of ended with all these dudes that are up in arms about Nyla Rose. I'm like, I think she kind of make it move for you. That's why you got a problem with it because you don't know how to deal with those feelings. Like it's and I'll leave that there. I'm like, I just felt like it was you're making it more of an issue than what it actually is. It's like, well, why is how somebody else lived their life? Why does it bother you that much?
Hmm.
Like I'm like, y'all have more of a problem with her than you do Sonny Kiss. Really? Really? I don't have a problem with Sonny Kiss. I thought he was actually they were actually very talented. They were actually
Hmm.
pretty good. And I'm like, what really took me out the game is when Bully, bless his heart, that grown man said, well, got a nice ass. I was like,
He just said it, huh?
he just said, he was like, I'm comfortable with myself. He's like, got a nice ass. So I was like, dude. And I couldn't help but let, because it was funny. So I'm like,
Right.
well, he's being honest. So
Hey, next thing he was gonna say, I'd hit that.
and he was saying that, I'm like, you know what? Click. Keep those comments, keep that part to yourself there, brother.
Yes,
So
bro.
don't work yourself into a shoot. So
Right. I wanted to go over to just the WrestleMania card, um, just the matches and just the thoughts on them. I liked how night one started off with Jay and Gunther, man. I think we did talk about the just the finish was just kind of funny, just with the sleeper hold and all that and all of that with the whole story that was built up, and it just ended kind of flat.
yeah, very flat.
Yeah.
Jay's never used a submission before in his damn life, and all of a sudden he does a finisher on Gunter. Really? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's. And but then you see going to the following week, I'm like, there's somebody else that probably should have been on a vacation for the next couple of weeks. We didn't need to
Yeah.
see him again just yet.
Yeah. And what was the whole thing with the attack on Pat? You think they're gonna have a match at Backlash?
If not Backlash, I would say probably SummerSlam because Gunter's been suspended indefinitely.
Oh, due to that?
Yeah, due to
Okay.
that. So I think they setting something up. Where the hell is SummerSlam going to be? Oh, it's going to be in New York. That's what it is.
So
So
it's gonna be in the
yeah, and
Barclays or something?
I think so,
Yeah.
but it's going to be 2 nights. So like I excuse me, I can see them there being a SummerSlam match, getting McAfee in the ring one more time. And dude shows up when he gets a match in because I remember, oh dude, we have got to talk about the good old black and gold at some point in time,
Oh,
especially that match, like how they set it up with him and Adam Cole,
oh
and he
yeah.
damn near kicked Adam Cole's head into the upper deck. So that boy was limp noodle like a son bitch though. So but
Yeah.
but McAfee, he when you put him in the ring, he shows up. So
Hmm.
he definitely shows up.
But
between him between him and Bad Bunny, I'm like, they actually or they go in and they put the time in so they don't look like a complete fool when they get in the damn ring.
exactly. Yeah. Even Logan Paul.
Yeah. Oh shit, TJ about to chime in now, but
Right. As soon as we say his name
say
and
his name and
he
he shall
repeat.
appear. So
I believe in Logan Paul.
he gonna lose his shit
He
now,
gonna
but
come on. What?
Eating his Twizzlers like, really?
Man. So I'm sorry, we had Gunther and Jay. I want to talk about the sleeper match, man, that fatal four-way for the IC title. That was a banger, man. I, I, I think we was thinking that Dom was going to more than likely take the pin, but I'm glad he won.
It
Don't you
was,
think?
it was way better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me. It was way better than what I thought it was going to be. Um, it kind of, I think we all thought that Dom was going to be there to eat the pin,
Right.
but the way that it played out, you protected Braun in that match. So Braun technically didn't lose the match because you didn't pin the champion, you pinned somebody else.
Yeah. And the
So
weird thing about that, real quick,
mhm.
that match ended the exact same way that the women's triple threat did, with the splash from the top.
Oh, it did, didn't
You notice that?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It wash and repeat, brother. Wash
Mm-hmm.
and repeat.
Not doing my finish, brother.
Yeah. It's like, what color do you wear tonight? You wearing pink and silver? I'm wearing pink and silver too, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was so trippy, man. Why did Charlotte and Tiffany do that?
You wore the same colors.
Literally.
It's just horrible. And I've been seeing that a lot lately. Like you'll have two teams, or it could be singles or tag team. Y'all got on the same colors. Why do y'all have on the same colors?
Y'all already
It's like,
blind too.
yeah, it's like, dude, yeah, bless their hearts. But yeah, the match was better than what I thought it was going to be, and I can probably go back and watch that one again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a few I want to really go back and rewatch, see how I feel about it.
So what do they do with Penta now?
Well, who?
Do you have with Penta? Do you have him
Oh,
chase Dom? I
Penta.
mean, because he just ate a clean, well, somewhat clean pin on Monday. So what do you do with Penta? How do you go with Penta now?
Well, I don't think he got pinned, right?
Yeah,
I don't think it hurts him. I think they just continue on to keep building him, and he's probably chased Dom. And I think this
that's what
probably
I.
be the. You think that too?
Yeah,
Yeah, chase
have him
Dom,
chase
and he can
Dom.
start taking L's on a regular basis, but don't not to the point to where it make him look like a loser. But have a Dom cheat to win like he does, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just have a Penta chase.
Because we didn't know what it's leading to. So the
What's that?
the writing's been on the wall. It's gonna lead to him and a match between him and Finn. Somehow, I think Dom's gonna end up a babyface.
I hope so. I think it's time.
He's gonna end up a babyface because it's like once you once you how can I put this? Once you kind of reach like the top of being hated for so long, well, what do people do? Now they actually start to fucking like you. Yeah, you
Turn,
flip
brother.
it. It's the turn, brother. It's the
Yep,
same thing
and
that I
that
said
that's
about
the that was the Roman Reigns formula, man. Like he needed to be hated to be loved.
exactly. So with
Yep.
the whole bloodline thing, I'm like, y'all hated it. I kept saying for the longest, I'm like, I'm like, they're gonna turn it. It's not gonna be the company turning him babyface. The universe is gonna turn him babyface because you hate him, but then in the same token, it's like I hate him, but I like him at the same time.
Hmm.
But it's like, and that's exactly what happened. You hated him for so long, you started to like him.
The wrestling business is the most fickle, but unique and beautiful, twisted thing. That's just that it's. Uh,
It is, yeah.
I love it, but damn it, I hate it.
It's a complex world, and you love it and hate it all at the same time.
At the
Because
same time, man.
I said I was like, dude, Roman gonna end up being the biggest baby face, and what happened? He's been one of the biggest baby faces. But now they're kind of busting him down so they can rebuild him back up again.
Yeah.
Because when was the last match? Again, I think I asked you this when we was watching Mania. When was the last match that he won? Outside of winning the Ula Fala bag.
Was it War Games?
That and War Games. Those are the last two matches that he won.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, you kind of have to bust him out because we know this is gonna be a tag match at Backlash because they're gonna try to stack the card. So
Yeah, yeah.
they don't want to have no soft numbers, so they end up having to call The Rock again. Hold on. So they don't have to call The Rock in again, brother. So for soft
Yeah,
numbers.
I'm gonna say this: these suits are very, very delusional. That they don't understand that it's not the people. You don't need The Rock for anything, really. We don't need him. We really don't even need him anymore. I love him to death, but we don't necessarily need him. And we can't hang uh on the fact that The Rock he'll come back and make everything better. Just tell better stories, man.
Exactly.
Just
And if you had soft numbers for Elimination Chamber, look at the lineup that you had for Elimination Chamber. Look at the card that you had for Elimination Chamber. And it was Elimination Chamber. Like
right,
it's not one of your biggest pay-per-views. It's not Money in the Bank because Money in the Bank is kind of a big pay-per-view because you know what it could potentially lead to down the road. And everybody's working for the pop. So you want to see who's gonna grab the briefcase. For the Elimination Chamber, we know what that sets up already.
right, and then make the tickets affordable. Make the tickets affordable again.
And don't get me wrong, I love Trish, but did we need to see Trish in a match with Tiffany Stratton? Because what did they do for Tiffany Stratton? Stratton. What did it do for her? Didn't do nothing,
Zero. It was
but
just
sell a couple of T-shirts and to get her a match in her hometown or her home country rather.
yeah, and to give Tiffany the run, but she was already women's champion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how much of a rub did it didn't work because that match was flat as shit. So
yeah, it was. It was.
the match was flat. So, but it's like again, did we need to see if you wanted to put uh Trish on display, you could have just had her come out, talk to the crowd, say the number, who's in it, how many people were in attendance, and then bye bye, go off. Or you could have had her be a ring announcer. I don't know a damn referee, but she didn't need to be in the match. Oh, because she wanted to have a match in front of her kids. Man, look here, damn kids, damn they're grown. They didn't seen her wrestle before. The hell. Again, I'm a big Rock fan, and I love Trish Stratus, but didn't need to see neither one of them. Didn't.
No,
It's Elimination Chamber.
yeah. I don't
Oh,
think the sales were soft from the card. I think it was soft from the prices, man.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
then,
honestly,
and like I said, you announced the Rock, and you still only sold another handful of tickets. Like, so what did it actually do? Oh, we know what it did now. Hindsight 2020. You ruined one of the best storylines of the year. So or
yeah,
so far this year.
early,
Early.
quick,
Oh, the Nemeth brothers just beat the hardest for the TNA tag titles.
joy.
Yeah, it's okay. I guess this will make way for the hardest to be back in WWE at some point in time, and um,
Yeah,
I don't know.
they need to have one more run this year and hang them up, parties. We love you, but sometimes it's just time to go. Like it's the circle of life.
Very much so, because it's kind of painful to watch them now. So, like, they
Yeah,
still move pretty decently and what have you, but it's like, you tuning in for a Hardy's match just to hear the music and the
yeah.
initial pop. That's all. Oh shit! Look, I forgot LaGreca was gonna be there today.
What you doing? Commentary?
They did like he did like a Q&A early, not a Q&A, like something earlier, but they just brought him out to they got him, Tommy Dreamer, Santino, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. out here giving their opinions on whatever the next match is.
Hmm.
Yeah, bless his heart. But anyway, so
What you think
yeah,
of New Day and the Viking Raiders? No, I'm sorry, the
what I'm
Royal
saying,
Raiders. Excuse me.
whoever they are now,
Yeah.
it
This this is probably not the best match on the card.
no. Here's my thing. After you win have you had three runs as any champion? What's the point after that? You're just racking up numbers now. Like it just loses some of its luster to me as it you steady win. It's like, oh, we're 7-time champion, we're 9-time, we're 10-time, we're 12-time, we're 15-time. Like, oh, okay, that just means you lost it a bunch of times too, and
uh,
especially tag teams. It's like it's two of y'all though, so whatever. You kind of expected that to happen because that match kind of popped up on the card to fill the card and what have you. It's like, okay, I think we all called that one too. For we said we all said the New Day was gonna win.
yeah, and like I said, we probably before that we thought that this was just going to lead to a Big E something. And I
Hmm.
understand if you can't get physical, but I guess they just used him to turn heel. It wasn't for him to do anything else. It's just to say, oh, don't have any expectations of Big E coming back because we're just gonna, we're gonna kick him to the curb, and now you can boo us. That's basically what it was for.
You just spent the last what 12, 13 years cheering us, so now you can boo us. So
Yeah,
and it's still like even their heel turn still doesn't even make sense because it's like what was the point?
I guess they needed a heel tag team on
Yeah.
Raw.
Yeah.
Uh,
But the the tag team division in general is just fucking ass.
yeah, I would say SmackDown's is more consistent, but I mean Raw's is just kind of. I really can't remember the teams on Raw, but SmackDown is always Los Garza. It's always well, you got the Africa Academy on Raw.
Hmm.
Nope, it's only a handful though. I mean, I wish
Yeah,
they had more teams that would interchange.
yeah.
More so.
And that goes back to my point where if you got one set of champions that can go between both shows, then you don't get fucking stale. Because
Yeah.
and I meant to look all of that up too, because I knew he was gonna talk about it. It was gonna get me hot there, brother. So well, WWE's never been about tag teams in general, so they never have been. But
Mhm.
on Raw, you got what the War Raiders, New Day, Alpha Academy, uh, um, the Creeds with
Yeah.
Chad Gable.
That's
Um,
Alpha. Well, no. You're talking about
well,
Otis
that's
and them.
Otis and Tozawa.
Yeah.
So and then I think that's pretty much it.
American made.
Them whoever,
Yeah.
and that's
Uh,
pretty much it. And then
yeah.
on the other side, you got uh
And
Street Profits.
everybody that was in the TLC match,
Yeah, yeah, those three teams.
which I still didn't see that.
That was actually a pretty good match. When
Mm.
when my man Montez, somebody in the crowd gave them the prosthetic leg, and then when he got done using it, he gave it back to him. Fucking hilarious, hilarious. My man took his leg off, held it up for Montez. Montez came over and got it, cracked Buddy in the stomach with it, and then gave it back to him.
Oh my
Hilarious.
God. Damn, I gotta see that too.
I'm like, there's no way that was planned. That was all improv right there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It wasn't like half a leg. It was like the man's like a Zach Gowen like whole leg. Like
yep, it was the whole leg. I'm like, oh man, he just used this grown man leg. He gave it to him. He gave it to him though. He's like, wow, that's okay. I guess it worked. So,
he was like, here.
yeah, basically, yeah,
Oh wow, bro.
basically, yeah. But yeah, that was a good match. And your boy Champa, he shaved his beard off.
Yeah, I seen that. I stopped it purposely right before the match because I knew right. like right after the bell rung, I wouldn't be able to sit down and really, enjoy it. But I watched up to the entrances, and yeah, I think he needed stitches or something. That's why he had to shave it off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay. I mean, he looked like a totally different dude now. So
Yeah, I think he should. They heel now. I think for some reason beards do work better for babyface and heel.
yeah,
It
because
does.
even like back in the day, during the height of like the Attitude Era and stuff, I could always tell when somebody was getting ready to go heel. Like you always knew when Triple H was getting ready to go heel because he started growing his beard back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and whenever
Babyface,
he would,
moves face.
yeah,
Yeah.
every time he got ready, every time he did it, I would tell my sister, I'd be like, Triple H about to turn heel. And she was like, why you say that? I was like, he growing his beard back, or he grew his beard back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, white people, white dudes, white people, they cut it off on Monday. By Friday, it's all grown back already. So like, oh, no patchy, no nothing. It's just all grown back.
Just
So
all, yeah.
yeah, they damn near looking like a mountain man by end of the week. But I was like, and every time he did it, he fucking turned. I was like, what did I tell you?
Yep. Just like when why did he even, he remember he had like the handlebar
hmm
and he was experimenting doing some crazy stuff with his facial hair at one point.
He was
Triple
paying
H.
homage. Oh, excuse me. He was paying homage to Harley Race.
Oh,
He was paying homage to handsome Harley
yes.
Race.
Yes, Paul Orndorff.
Yeah, man. When I went to, I think I was in when we went to Mania the first time they were in New Orleans. I was in line at the Fan Fest, and I kept looking at this dude. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Because he had a the handlebar, the cowboy mustache shit going on.
Yeah.
Kept looking, I'm saying, who the fuck
Like
is
with
this
the
dude?
twisted mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm like, who the because Mr. Wonderful, he never had facial hair.
Right, right,
So
right.
I didn't know what he looked like with facial hair. And of course, he's like 80 years old now. So I mean, then anyway. But
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is that? And finally I asked somebody, I said, who is that? He was like, that's Paul Orndorff. And I'm like, that's Paul Orndorff? And he was like, yeah. I was like, hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go over here.
Did you speak to him?
I had to go over there. But Mr. Wonderful was one of my favorites as a kid. I always liked me a good heel anyway. And then his pile driver was a pile driver that was a finish. So
Right, right.
it's kind of like Jake the Snake's DDT. Like if he slapped it on you, ain't no kicking out, brother. You
It's
don't kick
done.
out at two. You don't kick out at 2.5. You're done.
Right.
You are done. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he hooked you, it was a wrap.
Every finisher at this point has been kicked out of. Nothing is special. Nothing is protected.
No more. Not
And
no more.
yep. Especially at WrestleMania, you're gonna kick out of at least three times.
That's a given. That
Yeah.
that is a given. It was like, well, he hit it early in the match. What does that mean? It's called a finish.
Right.
It don't matter if I hit it 2 minutes into the match or 10 minutes into the match. I'm just saying, Kane beat Daniel Bryan in like fucking 3 minutes with his finish. What are you
Was it? You
talking
mean
about?
Sheamus?
Oh yeah, Sheamus
Yeah,
beat him in
yeah.
like 3 minutes with his finish. What do you mean?
Hmm.
Like a finish is it's called a finishing move because that means the match is supposed to be over with.
You remember he came out the gate with it last year at WrestleMania 40 against
Yeah,
Seth.
yeah.
Right off the
It's
bat.
like
Boom, Claymore.
right. So you mean to tell me that when you can have a match with Brock and Goldberg and he hit a spear and it's supposed to be no, I don't care even if it's supposed the match is supposed to be over with. Same thing if Brock hits you with F5. I don't care if it's 2 minutes into the match. It's you're not supposed to kick out of that. But
Well,
you can kick out of Macho's elbow and survive the typhoon finish and I mean earthquake and all this other shit. But anywho,
we got a comment from the brother named Ace, the Quiet Storm. He says, "Salute, fellas. Appreciate you, bro, for watching. Salute."
here we go with the triple threat with Joe Hendry and Ethan Page and Frankie Kazarian. who've been
Gotcha.
wrestling for about 40 years. So,
I don't like the stigma. I like TNA. I just don't know when to tune in. Like, how are you watching this right now?
streaming, just,
Oh, okay, you
uh,
got your your links.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't pay. I'm not paying for a pay-per-view. So,
Yeah. Other than Peacock, if I really want to see something like WrestleMania, I'll pay.
yeah, those days are long gone.
Yeah, I ain't paid for a pay-per-view since Money in the Bank 2011.
Somewhere around there,
Yeah,
like
like
2011,
full price.
2012. I'm like, well, when we had the network, it was $9.99 a month, so the pay-per-views came with it. But even then, like anything that was outside of that, I'm like, it had to be a big one for me to actually pay for. And the other reason
Right.
I paid for it because I knew if I tried to watch it online, everybody else was gonna be trying to watch, so it was gonna fuck up my feed. So I would pay then, but other than that, it's like I'm watching it for free. So if I fall asleep, I'm not pissed off at myself because I just wasted, $60.
Yeah, my friend back in the day, he told me about it. It was called the first row,
Hmm.
EU, something like that. .eu. And
Yep.
ever since then, I watched everything on that mug, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, and then some basketball streams. It had more than just wrestling on there too.
Oh yeah, certain ones will have all of it on there, like VIP what is it? VIP box or whatever it is, and you got first row, front row, and a whole bunch of other ones. It's like I'm not paying for nothing.
Yeah,
I will sit here and find a good link. So
right,
because I'm not paying for another damn app. So
right. So many damn apps now, man. Like you lose track, and yeah,
until
you
you
end
get
up.
the email notification, like thank you for your payment, like wait, what did I just pay? So
Or you just look at your account like, damn, it's
right.
gone.
So it's like, no, I'm cool. But
But LA
so
Knight versus Jacob Fatu. If you've seen one LA Knight match, you've seen them all.
yeah,
And I like him too.
yeah. But we called that one, said I felt like Fatu
You
was about to
called
get
it,
his
brother.
first title.
No, you
Um
take your credit. You called it, brother.
it just felt like he was gonna get his first title. I was like, and I'm not surprised. I've said before that Fatu is what they thought they were getting in Solo.
Hmm.
So it's like go
So
back
you
and watch any match of Fatu's in MLW, and you can see why Fatu is getting the push.
so you think Fatu should have debuted before Solo? It should
Yeah,
have been like the other way around. Like
yeah. It should
Solo
have
should
been.
have been like, I love you, Jacob.
That was just always creepy as shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, but we all know what that was. That was more of a Vince thing than anything else because Vince passed on Fatu like 4 or 5 times, or had already passed on him like 4 or 5 times. And I think it
Yeah.
was because of his
His background, his
his
record.
background and some of the other things that happened on earlier on in his life and what have you. So,
Yeah,
or
but
why he ended up getting into wrestling. So,
well, he good now. I'm proud of really any of the of their family who's actually talented. I mean, yeah, they have a it's a nepo thing. It's an opportunity for them to get into it. But any of them that's just really good and they thriving. Like I didn't know nothing about Jacob until he came out of nowhere flipping off the damn top rope doing the moonsaults. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? My
like,
God.
oh, excuse me, because and Fatu's a real one too. So,
Oh, he real with it.
he a straight shooter for real in real life. Because
Yeah.
somebody, it was a fan that decided to put his hands on Fatu. It's like, dude, first of all, never put your hands on a wrestler. That's just for starters. But never put your hands on a Samoan wrestler. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You mean like at a show like where they
it
was
was at a live MLW show. If you type it into Google like Jacob Fatu and fan incident or something, it should pop up. Like he smacked the shit out of dude. He beat that dude ass.
how did
He
he hit him?
smacked
How did he touch him though? Was it like during the entrance or did he like try to assault him or something?
he tried to assault him. Like they would try to do back in the day when uh, uh somebody would try to run to the ring and then they end up getting the skin tore off their ass.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, that he had an incident like that. Like but you put your hands on him though. So what was you supposed to do? Just let you put your hands on him? Like at the end of the day, that's still a grown ass man. What are you doing?
Yeah, anytime a fan crossed the line, you liable to get your leg, bro. You
Yeah, you get
they
a
can do whatever
receipt
they
and
need
a
to.
name
They
card.
take it to the back and just go to town.
That happened here one time. Because well, back in the early 2000s during the real height when the E used to be here, like they used to come like 6, 7 times a year, and I always went good seats every time, plaza level.
Yeah.
So um, it was, I think it was British Bulldog, Vader, and I can't remember who else was in the ring. Fan jumped in the ring. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why? Why? Got his ass told. He got the skin pulled off his back. Like, bruh, come on now. Leon White, 350 pounds. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
450 rather.
don't be stupid. Don't be
Don't
stupid.
be stupid. Don't be
Um,
stupid. Or like the dude that jumped in the ring during the Stone Cold and Triple H match, and Triple H beat the hell out of him. Like, don't. Why are you doing that?
yeah,
Just
I
why?
seen that. I think that clip recently came up. This was like back in like 2000,
Yeah.
2001 or something like that.
Like
Yeah,
what? Like what? Are you doing? What are you doing?
yeah, yeah.
You
It's like
get
they
in.
it's Steve, he stopped selling. Like he was selling something on the ground, all of a sudden his fan come in, he got up quick. Like
Yeah.
no, Triple H, Triple H.
Triple H is over there laying them hands in there too. He's like, what the fuck did you do? Because you don't know if they got something on them or what. Like, well, bro, don't do that. You never
Do not.
do not because you got some real ones in there. So
Yep. And then you get banned for life. Like you can't buy tickets ever again.
as you
So,
should,
just
as
like
you
that
should.
dummy who did Seth Rollins a couple years back. Remember that dude? Seth was walking
Um,
to the back, and then you just see this big black dude run. You just see his red sweatpants, and he tackles
I
Seth.
vaguely remember that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So what that because that was on the walkway, wasn't it?
that was the
When he ran
walkway
up on
one.
there.
Yep.
So yeah, you deserve whatever finna happen to you. That's all I'm saying. You deserve whatever's about to happen to you.
Yep. So we still just going over the match card for Mania. We already
Yeah.
talked about Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte, how that went down.
Oh,
Anything
she
more?
was laying. She threw some live shots in there too.
Yeah, it was personal. They was working, but they was shooting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And some people said, "Talk to oh the match was sloppy, blah blah this and blah blah." I was like, "Tell me one time you've ever been in a fight and it wasn't sloppy. It's supposed to be sloppy. It was a fight. It's a struggle. It's not supposed to be pretty. It's not supposed to be smooth.
Yeah, they supposed to flow like how a wrestling match would. If you guys are just if you're friends for real, you're going
Yeah,
to protect each other and make it look as good as possible. But like if it's any type of riff, it ain't gonna be as smooth. It's gonna be like we saw.
exactly. It's
Hmm.
like even with like I'm a big MMA fan. It's like none of those fights are smooth. You know why? Because it's a fight. We trying to
Hmm.
take each other's head into the upper deck. Like it's not supposed to be smooth. Like
Yeah.
and Charlotte was throwing some live rounds too. So
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of MMA, you see the Eddie Hall match?
I call glimpses of that bullshit. I call glimpses of that. That's not MMA. That's just uh people pretending to be MMA. Because just like you remember Bob Sapp?
Yes.
Bob Sapp was pretending to be MMA until he started getting there with cats that actually did that and
Legit.
was in there busting his ass because he was just big throwing haymakers. Okay, well you
Right.
finna be turned before the end of the first round. So exactly. You in here like a lumbering idiot just because you big.
Right.
So
No technique, no footwork.
none
Just
whatsoever.
mean.
You just trying to maul them. Like, okay.
Right.
Like, okay. And then you get in there and my guy must when he was in I think it was in Pride and dude was like half his size and wore his ass out like you got gassed. So
Yeah.
you got gassed.
So Jade and Naomi had a decent match, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little better than what I thought it was going to be, but I
Mhm.
like how they're slowing Jade down because she's not a technical wrestler. That's pretty much a given. She
Mhm.
has a power game, so you slow that down a little bit for her, and that's what
Yeah.
they did. You can see that again on the matches she had with Tiffany, which is actually a pretty good match.
It was.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, you can't. First of all, you catching another grown person out of the earth and do it. Wait, ma'am,
You know what was
and
funny
looking,
about that match?
what's that?
How Naomi interfered, and for a second, it's like after she had tackled Jade, she was riding her on her for a second. Looked like she was punching her. She was like, ah.
Yeah, when she was pouncing on it, like, but you're not
Yeah.
even making contact and making it look like that looks like absolute shit. It did.
Like
It
she
looked
having a
like absolute
tantrum
shit.
or something.
Yeah, that match was ass though. So, but no, no, I'm sorry. No, but it was a solid
It
match
was
though.
cool. It was cool.
It was a cool match for what it served its purpose and went the way that it should have went. And now you know
Yeah.
that they'll have another match at Backlash. So
Yeah, it went a couple segments too,
yeah,
the match.
yeah, they gave them plenty of time. I think that was about 15 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes because they went to yeah, they did. They had like two commercial breaks in there. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was a good match. I mean, they're still bringing her along. I still think Jade should have would have benefited more by going to NXT, even if they
NXT.
had her
Yeah.
down there for like 6 months, give or take. But slowing her down because her game is power. That's her game.
Period.
So like
Yeah.
she's athletic, we know that, but she's not a technical wrestler. That's not her game. So
You think they should put her back with Bianca? Or no?
no, no,
Yeah. They
no.
should remain cool, but just not together.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen it before where you've had people that were teams or tag teams or what have you, and they kind of went their separate ways, but you knew that they were still a tag team, give or take,
Yeah.
and what have you. So it's like if you know if one of them they getting jumped, like you know that their teammate is coming, their quote unquote teammate is coming out there, something like that. You don't have to have them attached to the hip at she's been there for a year now, so
Yeah.
this almost always done to help them get acclimated to WWE life because you know it's different than working with other companies. So
Yeah. So we had Ray Phoenix and American El Grande Americano. That match was pretty good. It was really good. Chad Gable, he put the little. I think we was talking about it as it was happening. He put the little metal
yeah,
piece in his
I,
head and hit the
I hate that.
headbutt. You hated that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think you should have gave Ray Phoenix a L this early, and he just debuted 3 weeks ago. But then again, it's 3 weeks, and you at WrestleMania, so
but
I don't think it hurts him much. It don't
would
because
this
he
be
wasn't even
Chad
supposed to be in
Gable's
the match.
WrestleMania debut?
Uh,
Ain't this Gable's WrestleMania debut?
uh,
I don't know
no,
if he
that
had
would
a
be
one on
possible.
one or I can't remember, man. As long as
Uh,
Gable been in the company almost 10 years, I don't think he's had a WrestleMania match.
Probably not a singles, but I'm pretty sure he's been part of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal since they introduced it. So
You mean like the ones when they used to have him at Mania? He's never been on the card though. This is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Pray for us, y'all. Pray.
yeah, somebody please help me. Somebody help me, please. All I'm saying is, and not to digress entirely too much,
Yeah.
I hate the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and here's why: because it leads to absolutely nothing. There's no payoff on it except for the next month when you have a match, they're gonna put that dumbass statue at ringside. Right.
And
They
then
look more like Fred Flintstone than Andre the Giant. So it does nothing for him. Like it that was like winning the what was it, the biggest Royal Rumble or Battle Royal or whatever they had in Saudi that I think
Yeah,
Braun Strowman won. What does it do for you?
yeah.
It does nothing for you.
That
It's
championship was
pointless.
beautiful, actually.
It was.
It was a really nice championship they had.
But also with those belts too that they gave that who was it? Gunter and
No, it was Cody and Liv
Cody,
Morgan.
who else?
Cody and Liv.
Yeah. It's a belt that you what's the point? You're only gonna see it once a year. It's not like they're defending it no other time. You're only gonna see it when they go to Saudi.
Yeah.
What's the point? What's the point? So
Just so they have something to fight for over there.
yeah, again,
Yeah.
it's fucking stupid.
It's the
They got
Saudi
belts for
championship.
everything. Yeah, it's not a real title. So
Yeah.
Andre the
Is Cody
Giant,
going to defend it next year? Or they going to have a tournament or what?
and then why put it on the person if they're not going to be the champion by the time you go back to Saudi? So
Yeah.
they got a. I'm pretty sure they got a Saudi show coming up. But guess who's not champion?
Yeah.
Cody and Liv. So
Yeah.
so each year you just gonna crown a new champion, which would be whoever the current champions are fighting over this shit. If I'm like, come on. I mean, you might get a nice little bonus when you get paid next week, but other than that, it's a participation award. It's like fucking everything else. It's like, oh, well, here you go. Here's a participation award. Thank you. Like, fucking stupid. Stupid. I'm sorry, it's just stupid. I told you I'm a heel. It's stupid. So
Triple threat match. Roman Punk and Seth Rollins. Best match of the night, obviously. Uh they did everything in that match that was just it just it kept my attention. I had to leave in the middle of it to get some food, but otherwise, man, the drama was great. The ending, I've been listening to other opinions, guys like in the industry that I respect, like Vince Russo.
hmm
Uh, I like Vince. Uh, he's he craps on everything, but he said something that made sense. The way Paulie was in the ring, how you can kind of tell just in the positioning of how he was just kind of walking around. He stayed in the ring. Of course, he was going to have some type of uh role in how everything was going to play out. So it
Yeah.
just the obviousness of it was just kind of like, okay, why is Paul in the ring? I actually uploaded my reaction right after, like, Paul, what are you doing in the ring? And then uh, I think he hit Punk first, right, and then Roman.
hmm
Yeah, in that
Yeah,
order.
because he rubbed it in on Roman, like
Yeah.
he rang the bell on Roman, so like he was giving him all reach around. So he
Sometimes you
did
feel like a nut.
yeah, he rung the bell on Roman ass. So that was funny. That
Yeah,
was funny though. But I said the same thing too, because even when as it was happening, I'm like, why is he guiding him? Like, what the fuck is that? So and then when
yeah,
he was like, oh, okay. I'm like, but you kind of gave it away, like you telegraphed it though. So
basically.
but yeah, that even when they replayed it back on Monday and on Friday, I'm like, and they still showed it. Like even when Heyman hit it and then he got all up in there, they showed it. I was like, oh man, that's just so nobody saw the problem with that, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, that was a really fucking good match.
it was yeah.
So I'm guessing since we started development on Monday, um the partial new stable that's coming your way with Paul and Braun
Breaker
and Seth,
brother.
brother.
Yeah, man.
uh, I guess we'll be seeing a tag match either at Backlash or do they hold that off until SummerSlam?
Which one?
But it's going to be a tag match. It kind of leads to a tag match with Punk and Roman, and then against Braun and Seth. Do you think they do that at Backlash or they hold it off until SummerSlam?
Well, Money in the Bank before that.
Mm.
So we got some time up until then. Um, I don't know. I don't know if they
Zinger.
can hold. Well, I don't. The next time Roman would wrestle would probably be Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. So they could probably push it farther along. Right now, they just need to establish them
Hmm.
as a unit. So they just
Yeah.
I guess for the next couple of weeks, Braun just gonna be taking everybody out, taking people out. I see just Seth and in the background, ha, and he just spared people out of nowhere. That's how I see it going down. And then Paul, of course, they're gonna have to come out a couple of weeks and let Paul just hype them up, do his talking thing. Ladies and gentlemen, introduce them, and be the hype man that he is. But uh, don't speak too much for them. I think Seth he been in the game long enough to really speak for himself.
Yeah,
Uh, but he could probably be Braun's talking mouthpiece for the most part, and build him up like he would Brock Lesnar.
yeah. I mean, and Braun's a pretty decent on the mic too, which is
Yeah,
surprising seeing how he's a Steiner. So, but um, so speaking of Money in the Bank, which one
who's
do
going
you
to
think
win it
goes?
this year?
Huh?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You just said what I was about to say. Like, who's winning Money in the Bank, Braun or Seth?
Seth don't need it. I can see who the world champion right now. Okay, Jay.
Jay, yeah.
Okay, I can see Seth probably taking it off of Jay. I can see that
That,
they built that heel story.
yeah, yeah, and he gonna need a good heel. But do you need Jay to be dropping it so soon before you even fully get into his run as the world champion?
I don't think he needs a long reign. Probably 4 to 6 months, the most.
As long as it's longer than what he held the IC title,
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Because I'm still, that was an absolute fucking joke.
yeah, yeah. It
So,
was a
but
flash in the pan.
it was.
Yeah,
Just to say that he won his first title since breaking away from the bloodline. Like, but you didn't give him a meaningful run. Like, if it was 3 months, you basically made him like a transitional champion, just to
yeah.
drop it back to the guy that he won it from. But yeah, I could see Ron winning Money in the Bank, but then, um,
Yeah.
if somehow Seth ends up champion before WrestleMania, how does that play out? I give them like a good 2 year run tops, 2.5 year run.
Oh, you mean as far as them as a group, as a unit?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to see another dominant. We don't need to see another faction for, another 4 years just running roughshod over the damn roster. Then you got to have like a redemption story and all this other crap. Like, yeah, we did that already. You did that already.
Yeah, but then we also need to see how Seth and Braun really work together. Is there going to be chemistry? Because I mean, it looks awkward as hell right now, to be honest. Just they just together, just to be together. So we need to see how it's going to mesh over time. You know,
So let me ask a quick question. If you were to add anybody else to that group, whether it be okay, if you could add anybody else to the group, one tag team and one female, who would you put? Not named Becky.
they not named Bailey.
Not named Becky.
Oh, Becky. I said Bailey. Well,
Do,
but yeah, put Bailey in there.
do we want to see Bailey as I don't the pro Bailey's a baby face though. Like even
Yeah,
when she was
yeah.
healed, she was a baby face. So
Natty.
what would it do for Natty at this stage of her career?
Man, I just don't. I think they need to give her. They need to do her like they did Mark Henry on the tail end of his career. She need
Mm.
one good run as champion or just like in the spotlight. I know back in the day she was Divas champion and all that, but on the tail end of her career, like I said with Mark Henry, he was in the twilight and they gave him the world's strongest man
Oh
uh
yeah, when the Hall of Pain tour.
Hall of Pain. Yeah, they gave him that. So yeah, she can use that. Uh, I really can't think of anybody else as far as the women go. Men, Uh,
Would you put a tag team with them?
how big of a group are we talking about? This would be Paul and three other guys. With two
Yeah.
other
So,
four other guys.
yeah. So it'd be Paul as the mouthpiece, Seth as, of course as the basically as the leader, Braun, and then you got a tag team.
Hmm. Well, Agato, they on SmackDown, ain't they?
Yeah, but who cares? They
I mean, but they could.
separate shows don't mean shit at this point. Just any
Okay,
tag team
yeah,
from across.
probably
Matter of fact, across all three brands. Let's go that way.
probably
Who
they
would benefit
underrated,
more?
but Garza and Humberto, which you notice they changed Humberto name to just
To
Berto.
what?
It's
Oh,
just
did
Berto now.
so they pulled a Vinceism,
They
huh?
pull events on your brother.
Oh shit. He ruined again now. So but
Yeah.
it had no, I don't think it could beat them because here's why. Who's afraid of those two?
Okay, so they should bring up a new team from NXT. Okay. Well, they debuted Frazier and his tag team partner on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
They,
Maxim, XM, whatever the hell.
frags him. Yeah, nobody's running from two 5 foot 110 pound dudes, is all I'm saying. So
Bring back
not really
AOP. Put
not
AOP with Paul.
well, if they were still in the company, so
Yeah. I even want to say that part, but this got my hopes up. But they would. But can you
they
imagine that if they were still with the company? Yeah,
they probably would have benefited more being with Paul as Paul Heyman as opposed to Paul Ellery because Paul Ellery didn't even talk that much.
he
So
could talk. He just didn't.
yeah, why they never gave him more mic time, I'll never understand. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, damn, who could benefit from um being a Heyman person right now?
What about Tony D'Angelo and his crew? Isn't Paul Italian?
No, he's Jewish.
Jewish? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, I'm
So,
just trying to think outside the box a little bit.
yeah,
Uh,
no, that's
maybe
just what I was
Drew.
asking because I was thinking about it. I'm like, who could benefit from being with them? Because I mean, in essence, you kind of, as the
Ooh,
story plays out, you already know how it's pretty much going to end up being. Seth and Braun are going to end up clashing and end up having a match
what
at some
about?
point.
I'm sorry. What about if Finn breaks away from Judgment Day and joins?
Wouldn't it be a lateral move though, going from one group to another?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be the same dynamic
That's true.
because in Judgment Day they just kind of like whatever. I mean, Finn has always said, "I'm the leader of the group. I'm the leader," but he don't lead nothing. They just together in this stupid clubhouse and they just call themselves, "Hey, we're a group." But what do they do together? What
Nothing.
they're it's
Nothing really.
it's
So
really annoying the segments. It's just like, why are y'all together? Still,
right, and they have like 18 segments per show. So
yeah. So,
it was the
but
same thing. Like I was trying to think outside the box. Like, could they put a? I was. Could they put a team with them that could possibly benefit from running with them? I was like, probably.
just can't really think of any teams. Let me see if anybody commented anything. All right, not yet.
So,
We
but it's
gonna
like
get there,
I was.
brother.
Yeah, we'll get there, brother. But yeah, I
Yeah.
was just thinking like, who could possibly benefit? I could possibly see Becky going there since they did just turn her heel. But even with that turn, with her turning on Lyra, it was like, okay, the basis of her argument is going to be like, it's going to be one of two things. You either I helped you win the titles and then you lose them for us, or I didn't come back to play second fiddle to somebody. Like
I, I
that's how it's gonna go.
I think her gripe, her beef would just be that I came back, team with you, won. It's your fault that we lost, and just blame everything on Lyra. Uh, and just be the delusional heel.
Basically. But here's the thing about that: when she was a heel, like a couple, 2, 3 years ago, nobody was
Oh,
buying it because
you
Becky's
talk
a
about
baby
big
face.
time Bex. I hated big time Bex. My
Yeah,
God,
yeah, that was a horrible. That was
she
horrible.
she
But
tried to
she
be
was,
Seth so bad.
yeah, it's like, but you're a baby face though. Like,
Yeah,
just like there's some people that are just naturally heels. She's a natural baby face. Like you want to hate her, but then you can't hate her.
yeah,
It's like even before the infamous the nosebleed thing, like she kind of was supposed to be a heel, but that busted nose turned it the other way. So they just kind of wrote it, and we saw what that turned into.
all right. Stone Cold Steve Becky.
Right. But it's like we kind of see what that turned into because she was supposed to be I'm like, she was supposed to be a heel. I'm like, but it turned out the way that it did. So because
Yeah,
remember when that whole thing when it was leading to what Survivor Series and Team Raw against Team SmackDown, like they came over and jumped. Raw, like she had Ronda Rousey, who was a babyface, in the disarmor.
yeah,
And I'm like, okay, and then by the end of the show, y'all turned her babyface. Like you didn't purposely turn her babyface, but the incident, the events that led up to her and the shattered nose and what have you, is what turned her babyface. And it's like, well, we see how that turned out. So for like 2 years, she was hot as fish grease.
yeah.
And then they tried to do the heel thing. It's like, nah, no, no, you're Becky. Same thing like with Bailey. It was like, no, you're not a heel, Bailey. You're babyface cakes, Bailey. So
You said cakes.
yeah, Cake, you're a babyface. You are
Yeah,
a babyface. So
yeah. So what do you think? The fact that they removed Bailey from the tag match at WrestleMania and put Becky there, and people are saying, well, not people. I listened to Vince Russo again. He made a good point that Becky, people were upset of the fact that no, not Vince. This was De La Greca. But people were upset of the fact that how Becky just came in. Remember, she won the championship at was it SummerSlam 22 when she debuted uh Damage Control, and just came. Well, no. Becky came in,
Becky came in and beat Bianca Belair in like
beat Bianca.
27
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
Yeah.
In 27 seconds, just like that, won the title. She won the double championship at WrestleMania with 35. And then just here, she just come in and wins. But then people don't have the same smoke for Charlotte when she does it.
No, it's all because of her last name. Like if that's why I always ask the question. Like if her name was not Charlotte Flair, would you still have that same heat towards her? Because look at the shit that Becky's done. They've had Becky do. Nobody has a problem with it. No, nobody has a problem with it. And it's somebody said that on posted something on Threads, and he was like, "Well, did I say that because I actually had a problem with it?" I'm like, "Well, your words are saying different." I'm like, why are you getting so aggressive? It's just a question." But it's
Right.
like if you're gonna have the same dude, first of all, the IWC and this vocal minority,
I feel a
I
rant
mean,
coming.
huh?
I feel a rant coming, brother. You're
No,
hulking up, brother.
I'm not. I'm not. It's just, dude. I meant to screenshot it and send it to you earlier, dude.
Okay.
These you got some people that are just absolutely fucking miserable in life. Period. Y'all are.
Cesspool.
They are miserable,
Yeah.
and it cracks me up because they all people also forget that just because of her last name or that they live their life in the public eye, like they're not regular people. So all the comments going around the whatever talking about because she's on her third divorce, blah blah this and blah blah that. I'm like, you're acting
Yeah.
like she's still not a regular person.
Yeah. She did an interview on, I think it was WWE YouTube channel, where she kind of felt like she really didn't want that to get out about her. She was kind of down about it. And
Yeah,
it did affect her performance too during the whole WrestleMania build. So I got to give her a little bit of leeway on that.
it's like some of you motherfuckers are walking around here with parents that are on they was on their third marriage before they was even 30 or 40. But you talking about like, And it was
Yeah.
like, well, Roman Reigns' last title reign lasted longer than all three of Charlotte's marriages put together.
That's kind of
Like,
funny though.
dude,
But it's mean as hell.
if you taking that much time to devote to being so fucking toxic and negative about somebody's personal life, you're a sack of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You are a walking pile of human excrement. Like it's
You need
like,
an enema.
dude, you really do like that. Just ugh. It's just I've
Scum.
started to mute. I've started to mute a lot of the shit. I'll look at. I'm like, and I'll go in. I'll be ready to. It's like, you know what? I'm not even mute. I don't even know why you popped. I know why they popped up in the algorithm, all that other crap. But still, and yet I'm like, you know what? Just mute. Just go. I don't need this kind of. I don't need that in my life. I don't. I just
Yeah.
don't. Like, you people are absolutely ass. You are ass. I'm,
So we gotta talk about it. Even though we're not here, but we gonna discuss Logan Paul, AJ Styles. This match, um, I think I watched it. It was underwhelming.
very.
Not saying that AJ didn't perform well, not that Paul didn't perform well. It feels like how the story went. It feels like it was just thrown together and we're just playing it by ear, brother.
Yeah, it was very last minute.
Yeah,
I don't think nobody was really invested in it outside that it was
right.
a fucking AJ match. But it was like,
Yeah.
did I really care about the outcome? No, it was determined by outside interference. So
They had
give
a
or
3 week
take.
build too.
Yeah, it was kind of
the,
whatever.
the
Whatever.
token Logan Paul match,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it was like, well, he got a date, he got a date, some dates that we can use, so let's just go ahead and use them, so we could get the social media numbers from his followers. So
Yeah.
what it was, what it was.
Do you think these things are working? I mean, they get the social media rub for sure from using people like Travis Scott and Logan Paul, but is it really converting over to new fans
I don't
overall?
think so. I don't think so.
I mean, people
Personally, I
see it,
don't
but
think
they're
so.
not going to watch every week like we do.
No, they only
They're
gonna
not as
watch it if
invested.
they know that their person that they follow is on there.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they won't be tuning in week in and week out because they're just super casuals, and it's only because of who they're following is on there. It's like
right,
even way back during the Rock Cena feud when he was saying that Rock left and never came back and all this other crap, and Rock explained to him like, well, I'm trying to build something on the outside, so when I come back I can bring new fans. Well, you're not necessarily going to bring new fans, but they're going to tune in because they follow you from your movies, and it's like, oh well, Rock going to be on wrestling this week, so I'll watch it, so because I want to see what he does. But then they go right back to not watching it until they know again that he's going to be on there. It's kind of, I think it's kind of like that. Like, they're only going to watch, like, if you watch a talk show and you know somebody that you like is going to be on a talk show, well, you're going to watch that talk show because you know what they own that night. The interview only going to be 7 minutes, but you're going to watch it because you don't know where that 7 minutes is going to lie at. So it
right,
could be at the beginning of the show, middle of the show, they could come on as the closing segment. You don't know, but guess what? Now you got to tune in for fucking 30 minutes. So
right.
kind of the same thing. I mean, I'd love to see what the metrics are and if it actually is worth the pushes that they give to people and how they rely it, and it's one of those boxes they need to check and what have you. So
Hmm. And then we've talked about a lot of Cena Cody. I think the match it was as expected. Cena would definitely work the heel style.
mhm.
He just beat it. It was methodical. It was slow. We see this. He don't want to give you a whole lot. I mean, he's towards the end he started busting out the moves. But he believes that he is a step slower than he used to be. He definitely not 2015 Cena. You know when he was doing the US Challenge when he was doing the springboard stunner. Remember that
Yeah,
he was doing all that stuff. But
busting out moves that he had never done before.
yeah, but
Oh, excuse
the
me.
match was okay until the end. We all know what happened. It was Travis Scott took his sweet time coming down to the ring. I
Somebody
expected
said he
him
took
to,
like 8 minutes to get down to the ring. I was like, was it that long?
yeah, and I I expected him to be involved, like, but not to come out with the to determine who was going to win, and for him to be a part of John Cena's historic 17th title win. It's going to always be attached to the fact that Travis Scott had something to do with it, and I think that part of it's horrible. And the Dwayne Johnson, and I said this in my video this week, who was the catalyst, who started this, had nothing to do with the outcome of the match. The fact that John Cena, because he wanted Cody to be his champion, now John Cena, he's the champion, but he's not. Would he not be your champion since you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the
Since
this
it wasn't Cody.
yeah the the story could have still been told the same without that part of it. They didn't need The Rock to tell that story because they have enough material there to use, and it could have been like because you were my mentor and yada yada whoop de whoop because we've seen that before. You didn't need to add this extra this other layer or whatever. It's like, oh well, I want you to be my champion. Like, first of all, sir, what does that even mean? Like,
Yeah,
what does that even mean? You want me to be your champion? What the fuck does that mean? Because even week in and week out, like it wasn't like Cody was wrestling every weekend. It's like you had him sending the video, be like in the middle of the match, Cody, well, blah blah this and blah blah that, or the ref, don't you stop the match, or some goofy shit like that. Like you weren't there and you didn't participate even in the video packages or whatever. Same thing like when him and Cena were feuding. You were sending in, it was pre-taped videos and what have you. That it just aired like it was live. Like we already did. It's fucking taped already. So why couldn't you do that to still be present inside the storyline? It didn't make any, it was fucking stupid.
yeah,
And now you ruined it. You ruined it, pal. You ruined it. You
yeah.
ruined it. You're
You did.
welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
What do David Greco say? The PG era's back.
That's where I got
Are
that
you
from. Look,
happy?
yeah, look, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Right. Oh.
He was pissed. Like, don't you rap me. You can't rap
Right.
me.
He was going off on his
Oh, the
production crew.
producer. He said, you don't rap me. You can't rap me.
And then he let FM radio, Sirius Radio know, hey, look, if I
He said the
go,
lights will
the
be
lights
off.
go.
They will
I'm
be
keeping
off
this
if I
whole thing
leave.
going.
It's
Me.
like,
That's who.
God damn, he was pissed.
Y'all can, yeah.
my
Yeah.
man was my man was hot as fish grease, as they say, damn it.
Yeah. That was epic, man. But then you see what The Rock said, responding to him to how everything's a work. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
And it
like,
was like you shouldn't have said that. Like y'all
he made it worse. Like, I don't know.
y'all pulling the curtain back entirely too
Too
much
much.
and too much. And then they got a new show about to
Yep.
come on. And
Yep.
it's like, oh, y'all finna kill, but y'all killing the business, bro.
We finna get a sneak peek in on creative meetings, probably conversations about, I mean, everything. The curtain is finna be definitely lifted and in
Like
more ways than you wanna you don't like the smart fans or whatever. I mean, I would say we know the business pretty damn well. We're pretty damn smart about it, but you want to make us that much more smarter to where we feel that much more smarter and entitled that that the people that Triple H, he crapped on a lot of us, like the podcasters, the peoples with who have platforms with an opinion, because you're
mhm.
gonna give us even more ammunition and
Exactly.
more knowledge of the business that you don't want us to know, but when we talk about it, it's a problem.
You about to give us more bullets in the gun there, pal. So
Uh,
more bullets.
so you definitely with this show, you definitely can't tell me what I don't know.
It's like you about you they gonna kill the fucking business. You gonna kill the business.
Yeah,
And I'll probably tune in because I want to see how this all how they how they air it and have it edited and what have you
yeah,
to see how it plays out. So I'm like, I'm gonna probably watch it just so I can be like, bruh.
Look at this train wreck.
Basically,
Yeah.
like you don't say nobody. You don't let us in on the creator. We know that there's storylines already.
It
Well,
may, you know what's real? It may just piss me off that much more because we'll see they may play out a whole meeting in the storyline that came together. It's like that's how that BS came about.
and look, especially if it comes out to be if it's a shit ending to a story like we just had, it's like so y'all sat in a room and thought about this for 3 months and y'all thought that this was okay. Y'all agreed to that. Everybody was in unison. Everybody rose their hand.
Uh-huh.
Everybody,
Uh-huh.
everybody gave it the thumbs up. Everybody should get kicked in the seats. That's all I'm saying.
And it'll
So
it'll expose some certain people too. It'll expose who are the yes men. You
yeah,
know, they say one thing on a certain podcast of oh how I would speak up and how I, would say this and that, but we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see.
very gonna be very very telling.
It'll be very telling.
Like you said, the train wreck, and I'm gonna be here for it. So
I want it all.
I'll
I
be here
may I
for it
may
all,
do a
brother.
review on it, brother.
Oh
But that's
shit.
that's pretty much it, man. You got anything else you want to put out there, discuss or whatever?
No, because I didn't even have no hot takes this week. Even though I saw a lot of it, it was just like after I saw it, I was like, I was going, it was gonna be my hot take. Then I thought about, it, I was like, the toxicity is, especially from the E fans. I'm like, dude, y'all are fucking nauseating. You really are. You
Yeah,
really are. And again, just to reiterate, you are awfully pathetic if you want to see a company fold because you're so devoted to another brand. And then when talents have nowhere else to go, and you think that it was like, oh, well, you working for the WWE. So what? Not everybody wants to sit in catering and collect a check. That's not what they put their they devoted their life to was to sit in catering to collect a check. I'm just saying.
yeah,
Like, there's no that's like again equated to being a fan because one you love this hamburger joint, but you mad because another one opened up and you hope they go out of business. Why? So they can take jobs out of the area and the community that you live in. Like this fucking stupid.
mm,
So you mad at this? You like this grocery store, but you mad because this one opened up down the street from you, and you hope that they fail. Why?
right.
So people can't have somewhere else to shop.
Like literally, it's a Snooks over here, and it's literally another one right. It's like a mile apart.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Yeah, you know where I'm
You
at.
know, we know. So we know.
Boom, boom.
and I used to live over there, so it's just like uh, uh over here on the Rock Road. You know, it's a Chick-fil-A down by two right at 270 and right off of 270 and the Rock Road. Well,
Yeah.
they built another one like 4 miles down the road, across the street from about a half a block up from where the Raising Cane is. It used to be a Hardee's that sat right there. It's right across the
Oh
street from River Food.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they built
Okay.
another Chick-fil-A right there.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm like, that's less than 5 minutes apart. Why you? But Deerbirds does the same thing.
They sure do.
Yeah, they build their stores like mad close to each other.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because of course I had like seven of them, so yeah, I
We
know.
know. We know the route.
Yeah, we know the route. So, but it's like I can never. You can't say that you're a wrestling fan and that you love wrestling, blah blah this and blah blah that. No, you love the WWE. You don't love professional wrestling as a whole. If you want to see another company go out of business because you have such blind loyalty to another one, you're an
There you
ass.
go. Hmm.
You're an ass. I'm never gonna want to see one company go out because again, being in the Midwest, we grew up with the WWF, but we also grew up with WCW. That was a great time.
Hmm.
You had both. You had people that were fans of both on Monday nights, especially when they had the picture-in-picture TVs, bro.
Right. You just had to click, yep, and just watch the show and yep, go back and forth.
Right. Me, I was in my first apartment during this time, uh, in Maplewood. My my brother would come over, bro. We would take my I had my TV in the living room. We took the TV out of my bedroom, set them next to each other.
Had a
Raw
ball, had a
TV and
blast.
WC, man, drunk as shit. So why? Why? Because you had the best of both worlds.
Hmm.
It was, and right now is the absolute best time.
Yep.
You got wrestling on every day of the fucking week. There's
Just
not a day
about.
that you can tune in, and not watch something. It doesn't matter what you like. Mondays you got Raw. You got. I'm not going to even say that. You got Raw and SmackDown, NXT, TNA, MLW,
NWA.
NWA. And at some point we're gonna see AAA is gonna have a show on something.
Yeah.
They're gonna get some national exposure on up this way and what have you. But it's like you still got
Being
like New Japan and all these other companies out there. Like, dude, there's so much wrestling to watch, but you mad because of AEW.
and you heard Deion Sanders' son is signed a developmental contract
To what?
to WWE.
Which son?
I think it's the young one. I don't know his boys like that,
Uh, oh shit,
but
I didn't know that for real.
that's what I see. You know the internet, bro. But
Yeah,
that's just what I seen on TikTok.
okay.
I
I'll
would look,
believe you when Dion put it out there. So
yeah, I would just Google it or whatever. But
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, well, Evander Holyfield's son with WWI, the LFG, he on the LFG.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, he looks
Yeah,
just like Evander too, but yeah.
I
Dude.
don't know if that's a good thing. Hey,
Yeah.
thanks for watching that.
Until next week, folks.
Yeah. All right, Terrell.
Jesus. All right, boy.
All right.